Well, am I coming through? Hello, check 1, 2. I might have to, 1 second. There we go, good and prepared. Well, hello, good evening there, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane Morris here, and this is live stream number 50. And this stream was supposed to happen last week, but I'm just getting over some cold, or more than cold, it was some pretty heavy flu stuff. So, but I'm getting better, feeling better now. Going to play a few songs for you guys. Probably not going to be able to do much singing. Probably going to have to do mostly instrumentals this evening, but we'll see how things go. But anyway, glad to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and dive into a song while we're waiting for more people to show up. And yeah, so if you are here, just don't be shy. Say hello. Do me a favor, give that like button a press for me, and let me know, what have you been up to? You watch any good movies lately? Watching any shows? Are you playing any games right now? What have you been listening to? Discover any cool new songs or artists, bands, anything like that? Let me know what you've been up to in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you. This one's called Ascension. This is the part where you're in the elevator, you're waiting for the doors to open up. You're almost at your floor. Ding! go. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, Quincy Kane here. This is live stream number 50. And I just wanted to announce, in case you didn't see the title or you hadn't heard, but I just released a new song. And so I'm pretty excited about that. A while back, I've been kind of playing around on TikTok a little bit. I've sort of had trouble posting things on there lately. I'm hoping to start posting some more content on TikTok soon. But supposedly TikTok's kind of a good platform to share your music. And so I was kind of checking out the app. And one kind of cool thing about it is that you can do these duets with other musicians. So if another musician posts themselves playing a drum beat or singing a vocal melody or something like that, you can record yourself playing your own instrument and adding to whatever it is they're doing. So one thing I like to do is I like to find other musicians. My favorite, I like to find drummers and vocalists because I can add like a lot of stuff to that. So like if I find a simple drum beat, I can add, guitar, bass, and vocals to that. If I find a singer, I can add drums, bass, guitar, to whatever they're singing and stuff. So that's kind of what I like to do. And so I found a drummer, this girl named Megan Whiplash Mullins, and she had a fairly simple drum beat, but it had like some distinctive hits in it and stuff. And so I was like, okay, that could be a riff. I can kind of sync up with that. And so I was kind of writing to it and wrote this little riff, and it sounded kind of cool, but it just needed more. I thought, so maybe I'll try adding vocals. So I tried singing this little vocal melody, and I was like, ooh, I really like that. That sounds cool. So I went ahead, I finished the duet, kind of wrote along with what she had done. It was pretty much just a verse and a chorus, and posted the duet. She thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. But I went away from that, and I was kind of thinking, like, man, that is, that came out really cool. I think I'd like to turn that into a full song. But I wouldn't even have written that riff if I wasn't inspired by her original drum beat. So I kind of felt like it would be inconsiderate of me to work on this song on my own. So I decided, you know what, let me just reach out to her, and she's got a bigger follow than me, so I wasn't expecting like her to want to work on a song with me. Like, who am I, So, but I thought I should at least ask, just out of courtesy, and if she wasn't interested in collaborating, then maybe at least ask her permission. Like, would she be okay with me working on the song? But to my surprise, she was down for it. She's like, yeah, I thought it came out cool. I'd love to work on that. So we ended up working on that for the past few months, and it took a little while to get released. One of the hardest things was I'm so used to working with programmed drums, and since she was a real drummer, she was sending me real drum tracks, and I kind of underestimated how difficult it would be for me to produce real drums. But I'm pretty pleased with how they came out. I'm satisfied. I definitely took a lot of work, but got that done, and a few other things. And so, long story short, we just released the song earlier this week, just a couple days ago, and the song is called Move On, and I am going to play the song for you guys later today. I'm gonna play it later on in the stream, but the song is available now wherever you listen to music: Spotify, AppleMusic, here on YouTube, Amazon, wherever you listen to music, it's available there. I've also got a Bandcamp page, and you can download the song for free from that Bandcamp page, and earlier this week, I posted a lyric video for the song, and it actually came out pretty cool. So I know lyric videos aren't the most exciting thing, but if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I posted a lyric video for the new song, Move On, so be sure to check that out. But anyway, let me know in the comments, have you heard the new song yet? Have you heard it? What do you think of it? I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and play another instrumental for you. Hope you enjoy this. Here we go. All right, now this song's got a tough guitar solo in it. So haven't practiced it much, so we'll see how this goes. I need to, I don't know, anytime I plan, well, originally I wasn't planning on doing this song, so that's my excuse, but this is one that I got to keep working on this guitar solo. It's a tough one. Yeah. It's just that last little bit, and I really got to trust the muscle memory, but I just overthink it. You know what? I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to try just that solo. 1 second. It would just be nice to get that solo a little better. Here we go. Let's try it one time. A little sloppy, but I'd give that a pass. If you play guitar, what's the hardest solo you know how to play? Or what's the hardest solo that you can't play? You know, for me, man, I love Silosis, and Josh Middleton shreds, and usually that is the hardest part of any Silosis song. Like, usually the whole song, the riffs and stuff, like, I can handle that, but as soon as it gets to the solo, it's like, I can handle, like, all the melodic stuff, but any, like, the fast, shreddy stuff, I can play it, but it's always so challenging to get it up to speed. You know, like, I always have to slow it down. Speaking of which, I actually... You know, while I was sick, I don't know, I was in the mood to learn some guitar. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't actually get too much time to just, like, learn guitar songs these days. But while I was sick, I had a lot of time. So I was like, I'm going to learn a Silosis song. So there's a song from Silosis called Cycle of Suffering. It's from their last album. They play in standard D, so. There we go. And, yeah, Cycle of Suffering. It's just, I don't know. I love the riff. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's such a sweet song. It's got some cool riffage in there. And I can play most of the solo, because the solo, it's actually pretty easy until the shreddy bit, you know, so... See, it's all fine and dandy until you get to that little alt picking section. I can play it, I just can't play it up to speed. So that's a solo I'm currently working on, although that one, I just recently learned that, so I think over time I could eventually get that up to speed. Like, I'm just a little off, you know. There are definitely other Silosis solos that are really tough. The solo for I Sever, that one's pretty challenging. Again, especially up to speed. But most solos are Silosis solos are pretty tough. So, yeah. But what's the hardest solo you can play? If you play guitar, leave a comment. Let me know. I do have a solo in the new song, Move On, so I'll be playing that, demonstrating that later. That one's not too bad, though. Out of the solos I've written, most of them aren't too bad. I think the two hardest solos for me that are always hard is that one that I just played. So that's a song, that's just an instrumental right now, but I do intend to... let me tune back. I do intend to turn that into a full song. And that's probably the hardest solo I've ever written. And mostly because it's quite fast, and it's doesn't give you a whole lot of room for forgiveness. Like, either you get it right or you totally bomb it, you know? So, and some of it, it's a lot harder to play standing up, especially this little section here. That little bit right there is so hard to play while standing up. So that's probably the hardest solo I've written, but again, if I play that pretty regularly, I usually do okay with that. Another tough one is from my song Hard Goodbyes, which is another instrumental. I'm going to play this one in a moment here. But this solo's pretty challenging, so. Here we go. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So that's a pretty tough one too, though. Other than that, the rest of my solos, I would say, are like challenging but fun. You know, they're not, you know, like I can mess up on them from time to time, but for the most part, they're not like super difficult. And but they're just at that sweet spot where they're kind of fun to play. Some solos, like, for example, I wrote a song called "A Place to Call Home," and that was one of the first solos I ever wrote. So it's actually a very easy solo. Now, I decided to keep it the same. There was a part of me that was tempted to, you know, make it more shreddy, but it's got a nice melody to it. So even though it's easy to play, I thought it still sounded good. So yeah, that one's pretty easy to play. And I mean, it's kind of fun to play. It's nice. I like that balance where there's a little bit of, because there's some intensity. Like when you're playing something really fast, that's kind of pushing your limits a little bit. Like there's some intensity there, and you kind of feel that. So to me, that's what's satisfying to play, is when I'm playing something that isn't out of my limit, but is definitely like at the end of my range, you know, and kind of pushing me a little bit. And that's kind of the satisfying, fun stuff for me to play. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play the second toughest solo I've written. This is my song Hard Goodbyes. Here we go. If you're just joining us, don't be shy. Say hello. Thank you. If you're just joining us, don't be shy. Say hello. Let me know what you've been up to lately. You been watching anything good lately? You playing any video games right now? What have you been listening to? Let me know. For myself, again, I'm just now getting over some cold. I keep calling it cold. It wasn't cold. It was flu. it was pretty bad. I was really sick, and the first couple days I was just wiped out, and then. Little by little, I was kind of getting my energy back, but I was definitely taking it easy throughout the week. And so, as far as like what I was watching and stuff, I was watching a lot. I binge watched all 4 seasons of Zoe 101. So I don't know if there's any mid 2000 teenagers out there, but some of you might be aware of Zoe 101. I never had like actual TV and stuff. If I ever wanted to see TV shows, I either had to be on vacation or go to a friend's house who had those channels and stuff. At my house, we only ever got the local networks and stuff. But there were a few occasions where I got to see that show, and from memory, it was just a fun, feel-good show. I mean, the high school is like a fantasy for teens. It's like that'd be the school that any teenager would want to go to. And, it was by the beach, and it was just a fun show and had, good music and fun characters and things like that. And so there was a part of me that was a little nervous about rewatching it. I was like, man, is this going to hold up, or is this going to be like super cringy and cheesy now? And to be honest, it was quite enjoyable, especially like when you're not feeling good, when you're just feeling like crap. Just watching a show like that, it's just kind of a fun, feel-good show. I'm not saying it's like the most amazing show ever or anything like that, but it's definitely like just a fun, feel-good show, and it legitimately gets better as it goes along. They're pretty young when they first start, but by the 3rd season, like the characters are pretty well developed, and there's some interesting kind of dynamics that happen between them. More the writing gets a little better, a little more clever, and things like that. So that's what I've watched lately. Don't think I've watched any movies or anything. It was mainly just that, and then just kind of a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. As far as listening to music, I've been trying to check out kind of some new things. I felt like there was something. What did I listen to recently? It's kind of funny. Someone actually, Hannah, I don't know if you're out there or if you're rewatching this or anything like that, but Hannah had reached out to me and was talking about a music project that she was working on, which I think sounds pretty cool. It's kind of a punk rock or sort of pop punk country thing, which I'm not like the biggest country fan, but I like pop rock and stuff, and I was asking her kind of like what are some references, like what's it sort of similar to, and she was telling me some Avril Lavigne songs that it was like. So I checked out the Avril Lavigne songs, and they're from her I can't remember the name of the album. It was her 2004 album, but they sounded pretty good. So I ended up checking out the whole album, and it's a really good pop rock album. Can't remember what it's called. It's her 2004 album, but so I've been listening to some Avril Lavigne lately. Man, Avril Lavigne, Zoe 101, metal. I was listening to some Flesh Killer, and I was checking out a little bit of Korn. I kind of have mixed feelings about Korn. Some of their stuff is pretty cool, but they can be a bit too vulgar for my liking sometimes. Try not to listen to anything too dark or anything like that. I like to listen to more motivational, uplifting kind of music. Positive stuff. It's okay to be like real and honest. I appreciate that, but just nothing too dark and negative and vulgar or anything like that. But yeah, I've been listening to some Pantera too. Speaking of dark and vulgar, and they're definitely one of those bands. Like I wouldn't say I'm a Pantera fan, but I can definitely respect them. I can see, especially a lot of those songs, especially to come out like in the early '90s, is like really impressive. And it's like, wow, I could see how this was like, foundational in changing metal at that time. And they definitely have some bangers out there. There's a few songs of theirs that I do like. So that's all I've been listening to. And then as far as playing video games, I recently beat Resident Evil 7 for the second time. It's a great game. and I'm hoping to start Uncharted: The Lost Legacy soon. I've got a friend who has that game, so I'm planning to borrow it from her, and looking to play that. I've never played that one. I've played the main Uncharted series, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but hadn't played the Lost Legacy game. So yeah, looking to give that a try. So that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to? Leave a comment. Let me know what you've been watching, what you've been listening to, what you've been playing, or what you've been doing. What else you've been up to? Let me know. Going to go into another song here. This is another instrumental. Hope you like it. Here we go. Thank you. Well, for anyone watching now or tuning in later, I do appreciate you watching. Again, I've got a new song that I just released. In fact, I'm going to play it in a moment here. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to sing it, though, because, again, I'm getting over some sickness, and I'm feeling much better now, but I haven't really been able to, sing out, so we'll see how that goes. I might try singing. We'll see. But, yeah, new song. It's called Move On. This is a song about progress, and just the motivation to keep going. Because sometimes in life, I think you can get so caught up in just looking right in front of you, and you don't really feel like you're making much progress. You just feel like, oh, everything's the same, and you're always working so hard, trying so hard to get something done, and you feel like you haven't really accomplished much, really haven't gotten that far. But if you kind of take a step back and look at the big picture, and you sort of look back at what you've actually accomplished, at what you've done, how far you've come, you might be surprised at what you have done, and you can let that sort of motivate you to stay strong and move on, to keep going. So that's kind of what the song is about, and just sort of encouraging you. Those times when you find yourself at the end of your rope, don't give up, because it's not over, and you've probably been those places before, and it's going to happen again. You're going to find yourself in those places where you feel kind of down in the dumps, you feel defeated. But, hey, you've been there once before, and it didn't stop you then, so don't let it stop you this time. Just get back up, keep going, move on. So that's kind of what the song is about. But if you haven't heard the song, definitely be sure to check it out. It's available wherever you listen to music: Spotify, Amazon, AppleMusic, even here on YouTube. I just posted a lyric video a few days ago, so if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check that out. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Let me try something real quick. So I don't know if I'm going to sing this. I was anticipating that I would just play it as an instrumental, and I could do that, but Let me see if I could sing this. So obsessed, you're blind to your progress. Oh, see how far you've come. Oh boy. You know what? I'm going to try to sing it, but if I stop singing, it's because something weird was happening, and I felt like I couldn't do it. Now, there's a section of the song that has some harsh vocals, has some screaming. I might not be able to do that today, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know. But here we go. This is a new one. Just released this song. Be sure to check it out, but hope you like it. This one's called Move On. Let me try that again. To your progress. Oh, see how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. Taste and see this bitter once we're so weak, but now you've been set free. Yeah! See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. How far you've come, stay strong. You can move on, so move on. So move on. You find yourself yourself at the end of your rope. You know it's not over. You've been down this road more than once before, and it won't stop you this time. Say how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move on, so move on. See how far you've come. Stay strong. You can move Not too shabby. It felt all right. I don't know how it sounded. Now, those harsh vocals, I definitely had to kind of bail out after a while. I couldn't, if I haven't practiced them in a while, then it's almost like my voice isn't really conditioned for it. And I definitely haven't practiced a while. That's actually the first time I've done it really since I've been sick. I've kind of played around with it a little bit, but... So yeah, I could definitely feel like the voice isn't ready for this. But the rest of it felt pretty good. Another thing I might point out about the song, so if anyone's watched me perform before, my vocal chain is quite dry. It's not going through any effects. And originally, I had it like that because I figured if I'm going to use this setup for live venues, then the room, that will wetten the voice, with the reverb and stuff. But actually, after my first gig, which was a few weeks ago, even as I was doing the sound check, the sound guy commented that my voice sounded dry. And I think when you're in an outside area, there isn't as much reverb because there's no walls for the voice to bounce around and stuff. Which, yes, your voice echoes as it goes out, but like the initial sound can be kind of dry. So that was enough for me to think maybe I should add like a little bit of delay and stuff. So I've actually got some delay that turns on whenever I start singing. And so we'll see. I'll have to watch back and kind of see how that sounds. But maybe that'll kind of help to sort of help the voice kind of sit in with the voice, with the music a little bit, not be like super dry. And just make it sound nice. Having some reverb and delay on the voice does sound nice, especially compared to dry vocals. But anyway, folks, I think that's going to be it for this evening. So anyone watching now or on the replay, I appreciate you tuning in. If you'd like to support me, again, I just released a new song, so definitely check that out, share that. But there's also a link in the description to a virtual tip jar. So if you have any, if you'd like to support me financially, that definitely helps. I appreciate that. If you don't have the financial means to support me, again, my biggest goal right now is building an audience. So sharing this new song that I just put out, the new song's called Move On, sharing that, inviting people to come to the streams, sharing my videos, liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, and especially joining my email list. I have another link in the description to a sign-up page for my email list. So if you have not signed up, be sure to do so. That way you can get informed whenever I do release a new song. You can be informed, whenever I'm, putting out a new video or special things like that. So definitely sign up for that. But yeah, that's going to be it for this evening's stream. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all tuning in. And yeah, hope you have a good evening or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.